Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to the second part two of the show here with Stock Markets with Bruce. That's who I am. I'm Uncle Bruce. Uncle Bruce is back. Nice to see you again. Let's finish off the day together, see where things are going, and kind of keep an eye on what's been happening here since I last left you. The shares of GameStop dropped to 57.20 a while back, and they're now at 58.05. They're testing that low again. Will we have a bounce back at the close towards the 70-80 range, or are we going to have another loss? We're down $34 on the day. I did see some interesting news on MSNBC, not MSNBC, CNBC. I was watching Bob Bassani about 15, 20 minutes ago, talking about the share trading today, and that the statistics that came from the New York Stock Exchange were showing him that of all the trading that took place today on on GameStop, excuse me, 52 million right now, last at 56.39 here. He said that there were only 30 trades of 10,000 shares or more, and only like 5 of 20,000 shares or more, and only 1 of 50,000 shares or more. So that I find very interesting. That combined, all of that combined, is not even 1 million shares. So we are talking about retail investor, like small investors. This is not, we're not getting like hedge funds trading 1 million shares between each other, 300,000 share trades going back and forth, pension funds dumping, or any of that. And so it's all what we used to refer to in the business, nickel and dime business. It's all small, 100, 200, 500 small transactions. All of you out there who are buying and selling shares through your through the Robin Hoods and Fidelities and the Charles Schwab slices, partial shares, slices of shares, you're being put together into block trades with other traders in nanoseconds of time on computer systems through market makers. That's how, of course, Robinhood and these other outfits work. So we're talking today, it's a retail trading deal that's going on here. There are no big major blocks of stock coming in for sale on GameStop, with massive, buys and sells going on. That is not happening. It is a retail deal going on here, and that's telling me it's smaller investors. So the smaller investors getting out, smaller investors getting in. Now, what I like about it is it's possible that the sellers are throwing in the towel. They can't stand it, but the buyers are buying stock and they're paying cash. You can't margin GameStop, and you can't margin AMC, you can't margin other, all these other Reddit stocks. And so looking at my phone here with the quotes, for example, I see GameStop at 57.66. I see AMC at 7.18. I see Bed Bath & Beyond at 26.84. Both of those are down. And I see BlackBerry up 27 cents to 12.27. BlackBerry actually has gone up, has turned up since this morning, where Bed Bath & Beyond was at its low of the day, when so was BlackBerry, and then Bed Bath & Beyond has been flat ever since, where BlackBerry's come on. AMC still trickling down, just like GameStop. They're all doing the same thing today as far as GameStop, AMC concerned, but Bed Bath & Beyond dropped and is flat like a letter L, where BlackBerry dropped and has now been coming up and now is hitting new highs. The Dow is up 260 points. We're getting positive momentum all day from the Dow. We've got S&P up 32. We have NASDAQ up 132. So the street is positive. It's not negative. That's a good vibe. It'll just be interesting to watch GameStop, because there won't be any late day blow-offs of people in trouble. You couldn't, you can't buy it on margin. Haven't been able to now for almost a week. So this trading here, coming in, the buying is cash buying. Nicholas, hi there. Bruce, do you think the hedge funds are using smaller trade amounts to drive the price lower? No, I don't think so. I think the hedge fund traders aren't going to trade in hundreds and 200s. That's not their style. They're looking for better liquidity than that. but they could be very happy with the pricing. They could be just sitting on the sidelines and going, hey, we're going to let these retailers, these retail accounts battle it out here, and we're not going to get in the middle of it. See how long it goes. Now, towards the end of the market, now the end of the day, maybe the last 30 minutes or so, maybe hedge funds will start nibbling up some stock to cover short sales that they may have made yesterday or the day before. You don't know. They're cashing in. They're trying to get billions of dollars back, but they're not going to make it on this one move. They didn't short 70 million shares at $350 a share. There wasn't enough volume for them to get that kind of stock sold. And on the other hand, many of them were trying to buy in to cover in any event prior to that. Boris, a dozen small traders have you mentioning proof algorithmic short ladder attack. Dozen small traders you have mentioned prove. No, I don't think so. I think what we have here are pure retail trading in and out. There could be some folks with 5 and 10,000 shares that are, dribbling them out because they can't find a 10,000 share bid for all of it. But between buyer and seller, it's all small participants. Truix, Bruce, check AACG, $1.36 up to $13 today, 900% increase. Well, I just don't have time. I don't have time right now. I'm a little busy with what we're watching here. 57.44 is the price right now. It's within 25 cents of its low of the day, 20 in that 20 range. It hit 56.36, I guess, probably in just a few moments ago. It's right at the low of the day, 52.9 million. The flush out has happened. It's been done. If you're down 80% of your money, 90% of your money, and you're looking to hold this long term anyway, this makes no difference. For the stock to go from here to $89, $90 is much easier than for it to go from 90 to 200. So, it can easily recover 10 or 15 or $20 a share even today or tomorrow or whenever, because it's getting to the point where it's not going to go much lower. Although I stress, technically speaking, it's the whole run started about 2 weeks ago-ish when the shares were in that $15 to $18 neighborhood. That's where it kind of started from, doubling to 40 and then going from there. At the moment, 56.66. People need a reason to want to buy it more than they want to sell it. It's all psychological. But those who bought in the 300s and the 200s and the 150s, they've already accepted the fact that we're quite down quite a bit here. I have to decide whether I want to get out or not. But if you're buying this stock without using grocery money, then you're in a position that you can just sit this out and let this flush itself out and go from there. 56.94, 56.72. The low was 56.36. We're still in this within a half a dollar of the low. Going through here, watching what happens. Over on the other one I was telling you about today, the Virgin VGAC stock, that merger with 23andMe, Virgin Acquisition Corp. That stock is at 16.33, up 286 today. They're going to merge with 23andMe and bring them in. This merger will happen in the next 60, 90 days. It'll be completed. Anybody that buys that stock will automatically be switched into the ME stock certificate automatically by the brokers when that merger is completed. That's a deal that I mentioned to you this morning on the first live show I did today. I like this deal. This is where 23andMe, which is sending out kits. They'll send a kit to your home. You take a saliva test, you send it back in, and they'll give you your ancestry information. They can measure for the likelihood or certain diseases. They can check all kinds of biotechnology information. This is a wave of the future. This is definitely heading down the road to the future. That company is merging into a SPAC, which is called Virgin Group Acquisition Corporation, a SPAC that went public at $10 a share. That announcement was made this morning. By the time the two companies are merged together, the people at the 23andMe side of the equation, they will own 81% of all the shares. The folks with Virgin Group Acquisition Corp that right now own all the company, they will end up with 19% of the merged company, which will then be worth $3.5 billion. And there'll be $950 million in the bank cash for 23andMe to go forward and grow the company much, much further down the road. 23andMe was founded by a group of investors. This woman right here was the number one is the number one person in the company that will be running things going forward. The name is Ann Wojcicki, and she took the company, created the company back in 2006. And the first investor into this company was Google, $3.9 million. Google bought into 23andMe back in 2006, and then in 2012 they raised $50 million privately. 2015, $115 million. September 2017 they raised $250 million, and July 2018 GlaxoSmithKline, the big pharmaceutical, partnered with them, putting in $300 million. Again, as a private concern, they raised $82 million in December 2020. And now they're going to merge into the SPAC, which has $500 million cash, looking for a deal. This is the deal. And there's a $250 million fundraising being done, private placement, top-up financing, $25 million from this gal herself, and $25 million from Mr. Branson. He's putting in $25 million, and $200 million from institutional investors that the brokerages are representing. And this company will be public with $950 million. So I think that's a pretty good deal to get into. Between 13 and 15 a share would be ideal, but right now it's at 16.38 because the story is spreading out a bit amongst the Wall Street crowd. They've traded 37 million shares today, and this I think is a good one. This is going to be a pretty good deal. If you've always wanted to get into an IPO, but you're afraid of paying $150 after the underwriters bought in at 70 and the insiders bought in at 30, here you can get into this deal at 16.47. Maybe tomorrow it'll be back to 15, maybe not. Maybe in 3 or 4 days it'll be back to 15 or $14 for a while, because it'll get quiet in a couple of days. Today's the announcement day, but in a couple of days maybe we'll get calm again. Shares might back off a little bit, and you have an entry point. And I would say if you're willing to wait, if you're willing to invest in something for like a year, I would look at this VGAC, the Virgin Group Acquisition Corp, that will be merged into 23andMe, and that's what the company will be called, and the symbol will be ME, I believe, on the New York Stock Exchange. I think it's a winner. Anyway, there's a different stock to think about. Over at GameStop now, as we're coming into the last hour of the day here, 47 minutes to go, 57.15, up a little higher than the low of 55.79. That is now the low print of the day, 55.79. It's set 57.15 now, and the question will be, is there going to be a little bounce off the bottom? If that is the bottom, will it pop up to 60, 65, $70 before the close, or is it just going to meander like it's done lately? Not sure. I have a vibe that it might have a pop. There's a chance that there could be a pop, but the market will show us. We'll see. There was a little intra run earlier today. The shares had been down into the 60, low 60s, and then it bounced up into the 71 range or so, almost $71. But then it gave it all back, hit a 57 low, a little bump. Got up to like 61, 62, and now back to this 55.79, and right now we're 56.80. So it's only up $1 from its low of the day. This may not be the last of the lows, but it could be. We'll just follow it. I'm here for the long haul, watching the stock. I'll be commenting on GameStop going forward because I like the corporate direction that they're actually taking the company over. So that's it. We'll see what's going on. We'll see what happens. Thank you for this donation, Zhao. Don't you think that other hedge funds could force the short squeeze by buying and with this destroy shorters and remove them from the market? Well, again, these hedge funds have all the time in the world. They're not in a hurry. If you're in a hurry for a trade, a big payoff, you're not an investor. These guys, the hedge funds, have billions of dollars, and they've got all the time in the world for a payoff to come in. So if they've shorted stock in the 80s and the 100s and the 120s and the 150s, they couldn't have shorted much because the shares every day would drop so quickly and then kind of hover and then drop quickly. So they would have been slowly but surely selling and selling and selling short. But with the uptick rule that was in effect in New York, that limited their ability to get a lot of stock off as well. So I don't know how much shorting has been going on here. People have been telling me we've been inquiring, trying to write a call contract against stock they own. They can't even do that. So there's all kinds of restrictions on the margining side and the shorting side. A lot of cash trading has been going on here, and I believe today that virtually every share purchase today on the stock, low of 55, high of 91, which was the opening this morning, I think all the buying has been cash buying. So there will be no margin sellouts going down from here with all of these purchases. 53 million traded today. That's a healthy amount of stock for a company that only 70 million out. Almost every share is traded except the insider stock. But in reality, I think we've had 10, 15 million shares trade over. But right now, the buyers are looking to get a bargain, and the sellers are slowly allowing them to have it. It's like the sellers are more interested in getting out than the buyers are interested in getting in, but we still have had 53 million shares actually trade hands, and we're 56.55 on GameStop coming into the last hour. That's what it is. That's where it's at. That's how it's happening. Right or wrong, good or bad, that's where this market is right now. Thank you for joining me again today for this afternoon session. I'm going to be here till the close, plus about an hour in the aftermarket. We'll see how the shares do with that. We'll stay on top of any breaking news as we come into the latter part of the day. The folks over at the Dow, we're up 242 points. S&P up 30, NASDAQ up 130 points. Thank you for giving my shows thumbs ups. If you can give this live show a thumbs up, that would be great. Appreciate that. Helps with the momentum of the show. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, Stock Markets with Bruce. Keep wanting to say Traveling with Bruce. Thank you, everybody. And those of you who've been making PayPal donations, thank you to all of you for that as well. 56.05 is the trading price right now, 56.05. If we get 3 more subscribers for my channel, we will hit 48,000 subscribers, 3 away at 997. That's pretty awesome. Fantastic, everybody. Welcome aboard the Stock Market with Bruce channel. Going forward, I will likely be live every morning from about an hour before the opening and a couple hours into the day, just depending on what's going on. It might be longer if there's something really crazy going on. Then I'll take a few hours off to kind of gather myself, get a nibble, do some other research work, and then come back on again and spend a couple more hours with you in the afternoons, and we'll go through the close together, and I'll fill you in on all the developments. 55.78, 55.67. We are hitting new lows right now on GameStop for today. 55.67 is where we're at right now. Volume, $53.7 million. All right. Niles, hey Bruce, love the commentary. Do you think GameStop will gain momentum with the current and upcoming changes in the company? I do, but I think the first thing that has to happen is we have to have the flush out, which could be happening right as we speak here, of the last of the day trader, short fuse investors who are throwing in the towel. As they run out of ammo, as their stock runs out, as they're selling it out, new investors are buying it up. Existing investors who are looking longer term are adding to their position. They're averaging down, which is a smart move. And they're prepared to say, hey, I'll take some stock down here. Yeah. I got some at 140. I got some at 200. I bought some at 280, 300. I'm averaging down here. I'll buy more shares, more numbers of shares than I would have purchased at 300. And I've got myself an average down to the 90 to 120 range. I'm happy to be down here with an average cost and up there because I like the corporate story long term. And this is what I do too. I do like the corporate story longer term, but most of the analysts out there aren't yet talking about that. They're all talking right now. If you watch CNBC, you'll see the presenters standing in front of a giant 60-inch screen with a chart, and it just shows this, all they're showing is the last 4 days. They're not showing you the last 6 months where the shares came up, and then took off. They're only showing you the last 4 days because that's what they want the shock value to just, look at how everyone got wiped out. But they're not talking about the company and the moves they made and the new management that's coming in. They're holding shiny keys right now in front of short attention span people. That's what I think is going on. Chris, I made a killing on my put options on the way down. Here's a donation for your car's extended warranty. Thanks, Chris. All right, distance longboarding came for GameStop, stayed for Bruce. Thanks for your work. Thanks, buddy. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. 55.58 is the price right now. It's a new low right now. We're dropping in like pennies. We're not dropping by the dollar. Just dropping like, a new low, 3 cents lower, a new low, 10 cents lower, a new low. It's just kind of a slow drib. There will come a point where the shares will reach a magical price where there'll be a wall of interest, and there might be a rebound of a significant $10 or $20 run. But I don't know if today's the day we're going to get that. It might be the opening tomorrow. Could be midday tomorrow. But at the moment, we're at 55.57, which is the lower point of the day on 53 or 54 million shares of volume. As best as I can see here, using my phone. Over at Virgin Group acquisition, 1626. The high was 1654 on 38 million, so it's up nicely. GameStop volume now 54.5 million shares, shooting right now at 55.88, about 50 cents better than the low of the day at this point. Not much of a big bounce here yet. Doesn't appear to be happening, and there may not be one. I don't know. Marty, thank you for being here. Your inside perspective is the only thing keeping me sane right now. Also, Virgin Group is up 20% since you last told us about it. Very, very clutch, man. Like I said, I like it. I don't think it'll go straight up. The next few days, as this story kind of settles in, the merger of the two companies, those shares might kind of drift along a bit, and then they might just back up a tad, back into that 15 range, 14.50 range. I don't know. I just view it as an opportunity to get a position, nibble at it if you want some, and just put it on to the side. Don't expect it to go to $100 tomorrow. Nothing like that. I'm looking for this to kind of meander. The deal will get done. They'll announce the deal, the shareholder vote, and all that stuff, and then they'll start trading as 23andMe, and but by the time we get to that level, the street will have been fully educated about 23andMe, its earnings prospects, its how big can a company like that get, what kind of deals can they make with other pharmaceuticals, and we could be in for a lot of interesting news going forward with that company. And I think the shares will do very, very well. I really do. They'll raise more money too. I can see them raising billions more over the next year or two or three from very eager, large institutional investors, because they've only raised, and I mean they've only raised about 800 million so far, and they're going to raise another. This 900 is coming in. That's a 1.7 billion raise. A lot of companies that go public will do $4, $5, $8 billion raises. So this entity here could well be very active in the aftermarket once they've merged it together. And so 1643, I don't think the shares are going to be down here all that long. 56.88 on GameStop. 57, I think we're about to hit. So we're kind of bouncing maybe a smidgen off the low. 55.35 low. 56.99 I'm showing right at the second. We have 36 minutes to go, and we'll see what's going on. All right. And we've got people wondering if there's all kinds of bot activity going on in my channel. There could be. I've been trying to eliminate bot activity as best I can. Bit by bit, I've been eliminating multiple repeat offenders. Trying to get them out of here. It's not easy, but we have been making, I would think, some progress. A lot of folks are asking, are posting the same message 20 times in a row. I do eliminate that activity. I just block them from the channel from being allowed to do anything. We'll just keep trying to block these users out. and hopefully YouTube with their analytics will be able to keep them out, and we'll have genuine people here who are generally trying to communicate with each other rather than some of these nonsense people that are just, a pain. Thank you. Just saw a donation come through. Thank you for that. It's from NS. Been here since day one. Sent donations and bought you a mug. You need to get some moderation in here to deal with the toxic chat and shills. You've been great, but unless that happens, I have to unsub. I'm sorry. Well, I am working on it. We are talking to possibly bringing in some moderators. I've had to figure out my game plan going forward as far as my scheduling is concerned, because it's kind of tough to be live for 7 to 8 hours a day without a break. So I'm thinking of this new schedule that I might be employing here. While I'll do a live opening for a few hours in the morning, and I'll do a live closing for a few hours in the afternoon, and see if I can bring moderators in for both sessions. And we'll stay on top of this and eliminate more and more of them. They are slowly but surely being picked off here, and doing what I can. There are haters out there who don't care how hard you work and how much people like what you do. They want to get in the middle of whatever and just muck it up, and we have to deal with that. Vladimir, thank you for being here. When do you expect 23andMe IPO would happen? It's not an IPO, it's a merger. The company is merging with the Virgin Galactic or Virgin Group Acquisition Corp. I keep thinking Galactic. So you can buy the shares right now in Virgin Group at 1662 today, VGAC. That company will become 23andMe within the next 60 to 90 days. It just takes the paperwork and the SEC rules to be adhered to, the auditing that has to be done, the financials that have to be prepared for 23andMe. There's all kinds of lawyers and Securities Act laws that have to be adhered to dot the I's, cross the T's. It takes about 3 months. And the second quarter of this year, they say it'll be done. So that's March, April, May. This will be done somewhere in there. In the meantime, if you buy the shares of VGAC, you will be automatically a shareholder of 23andMe. And we'll go from there. But I think between now and then, that when that day comes that they're trading as a new company, as a combined company, the shares could be higher. And that's why I've mentioned it now. So 13 to 15 would be a perfect place to pick it off. 1650. Look, long term, it's not a big deal. But, if you get lucky, or if it backs off a little tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, maybe you can scoop some and go there. I'm ready to go. I don't have any. I won't have any. I'm not an investor. I don't have a conflict of interest here. I am only commenting and filling you folks in on what's going on in the markets. I'm not buying, selling shares myself. Adam, how long do I have to meet an RM call? Is that a margin call? Webull won't show a time frame. Have plenty of cash in transit. It's frustrating. That I don't know. That's between you and the broker. If you've got funds going in there and you've indicated funds are going in, that I don't know. Like I said, I do not want any of you to be buying any of these shares on margin. If you can avoid it, I really recommend you go cash only, because these margin calls can screw up the works pretty badly and pretty quickly. Alex, speaking of Virgin Galactic, do you think their new test flight window starting in Feb 13th could increase their stock price if the flight is successful and they get an FAA clearance? I would say in theory, it sounds good, but an FAA license is one thing, making money is the other, and there's the question, how long will that be, and under what circumstances, and so on. Why is it that GameStop and AMC charts look identical? I get this question every day, multiple times a day. The one possibility is that the same investors buying one stock or buying the other have been for weeks, and they're getting blown out, and the same charts are happening. That's a guess, but I can't put my finger on it. The two businesses have nothing in common. They're totally different entities, and going forward, they will have absolutely nothing in common, except for the odd chance that maybe GameStop might rent the odd AMC theater for a group of players, tournament players, to come in for tournament games. But they have nothing else in common. GameStop will be doing their business on the through the internet, through the giant warehouse distribution networks. They're becoming an e-commerce company, where AMC is a theater chain that you have to go to. You got to drive to the theater. You got to walk in there, put your mask on, buy some popcorn, sit down and watch a show. That's it. Gravel, thank you. Back long GameStop 1,000 at 55.79. Big gap to 240 needs to be filled. There you go. Right on 57.70. That is a little higher than the low of 55.35. We have a half an hour to go in the day. The shares are a couple of dollars above the low of the day. It's not saying a lot, but that's where they are. What can I say? Let's see here. I find it funny how the comments will shift as a share price shifts. When the shares are $400, I'm a god. And when the shares are $55, I'm a scammer. I'm commenting on a running market, and I'm commenting on a declining market, and bringing everything into English. And one day you're a hero, next day you're a bum. What can I say? There are people out there who emotionally cannot take it. They can't handle it. That's why they're not in the brokerage business, because you've got to have discipline if you're going to be an investor. You have to be disciplined, and you have to say, I can afford to lose this money. I'm buying this thing, and I'm buying it long term until I get a payoff. That's the way. You got to be strong. Same with the casino. How many people walk away from the slot machine one pull away from the big hit? The guy walks from the machine. Another guy sits down at the machine, puts in $10, pulls the handle, $1,000. It happens so often. What can I say? Welcome to life. You can't predict it. Smash Phil, thank you very much for your donation. How much do you think GameStop is worth with all this hype? Or what is the floor price? What do you think that would be? I'm looking to get into a long term, but I don't want to overpay. Well, that's what every buyer is thinking. As these shares reach these levels here, I'm definitely more comfortable than ever before. As I've said earlier, a month ago they were in the 20, 30 range, whatever it was, $18 range. Had they gone in the last month, up to $80, $90, and then slumped back into this range here, no one would be really screaming very much. They'd be a little concerned, but not like the end of the world is coming. But because the shares got caught up in this massive wave of buying, as did AMC and Bed Bath & Beyond and BlackBerry and others, there was a billions of dollars that came into these markets on dozens of stocks that were in the short squeeze game. And everyone, for whatever reason, thought that the minute that a bunch of buying comes in, that the shorts would be squeezed to the point where there will be billions made for every stock, unlimited upside, and we're going to the moon for no corporate reason, but a technical reason. It doesn't work that way. It does work itself out. Shares go through the gyrations. I'd be much happier if it went from 5, 10, 18, 20 to 60, 80, 90, and it took 6 months to do so. And it's meandering along because I can then concentrate on the corporate story, because I have always maintained that the upside of GameStop has to come from good corporate performance, and then that'll improve the value of the shareholders' equity, and there could be a squeeze because of that. But what happened here in the last couple of weeks is there was a squeeze which made the corporation look a lot better than it was. And the analysts are going, no, the corporation still got 5,000 stores, and some stores are making money, some are losing money, and a bunch of stores are closed right now because of the virus. This is a company still not firing on all cylinders. And I say, that's right. They're not firing on all cylinders, and yet they can't keep GameStop systems, they can't keep gaming systems in stock from Microsoft or Sony. And they're going into online selling, of which 34% of all their sales in the last quarter, they were online sales. I believe the holiday sales, 34% of all business that GameStop did came from online e-commerce business. And they haven't even evolved that yet. They're just doing that now. They've stolen people from Amazon and Chewy to come over, and they're going to steal more, many hundreds more. But it'll take them 6 months to a year to get that whole thing fully implemented. It's going to take millions of dollars and thousands of man hours, but they got the right leaders already lined up. The leaders of this project are hired. That was announced yesterday. And so they are serious. GameStop is not kidding. They will not be a brick and mortar company down the road. And you can forget about trying to evaluate the company as a brick and mortar business going forward. It's going to be evaluated, and the shares are going to be valued on an e-commerce trading platform. And speaking of that, over at Amazon, the shares of Amazon are trading at almost 100 times earnings. And that is a mature, world's largest e-commerce company. The big one, they're trading at almost $100 times earnings. If GameStop were to earn $1 a share, say starting a year from now, or a year from now, the analysts are going, yep, in the second quarter of 2024, they're on pace to earn $1 a share per year, and it'll go skyward from that. 100 times earnings puts this at $100 a share. But this company will not trade at the same multiple of Amazon, because Amazon is a multi-trillion dollar size machine. This company will trade at a higher multiple than Amazon will, because large companies trade at generally lower multiples than smaller companies. So if this outfit is projected to make $2 a share in late 2024, and they traded 2 to 250 times earnings, that's a $400 to $500 stock. But that's 2024. We're in 2021, and we have to let the company build out their e-commerce platform. They've hired the people. Now they got to physically do it in the middle of a pandemic. Hello, remember that? We're in the middle of a pandemic. And we're getting people to join the company in Texas. They may have to physically move there, and that's why their start dates are announced for like a week and a half, 2 weeks from now. They're probably moving out, heading over, setting up, getting an apartment, a building, a house, whatever, and getting ready to start work and then building out. There will be a lot of hires behind this to take this company to its next level. So if you pick them up here, you're picking them up a lot cheaper than you could have a few days ago. Will they jump up to 85, 90 for a quick rebound and then come back again? That could happen, but it may not. I don't think they're going back to 400 again just because they went down to 56. I don't see a reason for that. There's no catalyst. To me, I don't see something in my hand that I can say, oh, that's the reason. If Elon Musk made another tweet about GameStop, great. That might add a little to the run, but that's not going to change the business. The corporation has made announcements, and they're making moves, and they put the directors in place, and brought them in to, take this company to the next level. And so I like the corporate side, but you folks might not like how long it's going to take, and that might be part of the problem. And that could be the market problem right now. There are people out there who are going, I don't want to wait 2 years. I want to wait 2 weeks. I heard a college kid made $200,000 buying options. That's what I want. I want to win the lottery. I'm not around for the long haul. It's okay. You can have that. You can have that take on the market. You can play that angle, but your odds are long. They're long odds. But if you're risking $100 trying to make it into 1,000, you're going to take risky bets. If you're an investor with 3, 4, 10, 15, 20 grand, you're going to take a longer term view and a more conservative view. Well, GameStop may or may not be for you. Maybe it's Apple shares. Maybe it's Google shares, Alphabet. Maybe it's a Facebook stock. Maybe it's Ford. Maybe it's a collection of ETFs. You have to decide what works for you and which way you want to go. All right. Thank you all for these very thoughtful questions. Appreciate it. Love answering these. Patrick, thanks for the commentary, Bruce. Do you think GameStop will still find a way to use this situation to draw in cash? They could, but again, they might have, like I said, I've talked to brokerage firms when they were 250 and 300 and all that, and the brokerage firms went, no, we can't help you because brokers can't even trade your stock right now without these clearinghouses demanding that the brokers come in with more money. We can't issue stock for you at this point. That could be the discussion that was happening, because I was wondering a week and a half ago, gee, wouldn't it be great if they could raise money at 150 a share, 200 a share as it was going up? But the margin requirements were being eliminated. You couldn't margin the stock. And then the clearing firms told brokerage firms, you need way more capital to trade a bunch of shares, not only GameStop, but AMC and Bed Bath & Beyond and on dozens of them. And of course, over at Robinhood, they raised almost $4 billion. So brokerage firms are raising their own money to stay in business. So they weren't offering money to any corporations to raise money. That makes sense, because I didn't see any IPOs last week. Did you see any IPOs in the last 10 days? I haven't seen an IPO. That market has gone dead because the revolt of retail investors sideswiped all potential IPOs for a while. And so it was quite quiet in the IPO front lately. So here we are. So we're coming out of it, but we're at 54 on the stock, 55.25. We're approaching the low of the day again. It had a little bump, but not much. We're into the last 20 minutes of trading, and we're going to have to see what comes of. Just looking at CNBC over here. I have to see how this market reacts to this low price of stock. Will there be bargain hunters coming in late tonight? Late this afternoon, or will everyone wait until the opening tomorrow to see if there's any more of a flush out, and will it go even lower and then they step in? Eventually, the buyers step in. But keep in mind, too, that if buying steps in tomorrow for 56 million like we have had today, that could take off a whole bunch of free trading stock at these low levels again. And then there's nothing. It'll be like a virtually void, for quite a ways. Now, does that mean another run? I don't know. It did before, but it might not this time. We'll just have to follow it. 54.45. We're at a new low right now. On GameStop, 54. I'll tell you this: the lower it gets, the more attractive it is to longer-term investors. But right now, the lower it is, the more ugly people's statements are looking, and they're really upset, or they're worried, or they're wondering, or they're just not going to listen to the reasoning of, well, I should buy this down here because it's kind of cheap and I should just average down. It's hard to sometimes get over the emotional stress of having a stock go from one level down to another and then buying more of it. It sounds like a good strategy when you're not involved, but when you're in it, it's a tough one to break. And that's the difference between the winners and the non-winners, because the winners, they're committed, and if they like the story, they come in. But folks, it's all up to each of you. That's the way it is. Okay. I'm really surprised GameStop execs did not raise capital last week. They really screwed up their chances. Again, I don't know. That may not have been the right move to make from a PR point of view. I don't know. I mean, it's in theory, if Ryan Cohen had sold 1 million shares at $300, he could right now be doing a buy-in at $55 and putting $300 million into the company, or $200 million less, except for the taxes. That could be going in, but it's not happening. Will there be a financing of some kind? I don't know. They don't need one this minute. Like, the company doesn't need to raise money for rent, overhead to survive, because each of their stores that are running, they're busy. They're busy with these new systems. They can't keep the stock in. So all stock coming in is immediately going out, and cash is flowing on all these consoles that are selling right now and the new games. So right now they're doing fine. Anyway, that's where we're at. Joshua, what's a good price to pay for VGAC? It's now $17.96, up $4.49. It's popped up again. It's having a very good end of the day here. I'm surprised to see it do this well. It was 18 in the pre-market for a bit, but then it slumped down into the 14, 15 range earlier today. It's now 17.88 on VGAC. As I say, I like what the game plan is for that merger very much. I think it's pretty cool. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's on the rise. The stock is on. That one is on the rise. Where can I buy that stock? You should be able to buy that through any brokerage firm. That really is an easily tradable stock, I would think. Regenerative technology. Bruce, I've thrown 3 super chats into this question, but I need to know, what do you think about short ladder attacks? Are they real? They're theoretical. They're not really real, because there's never the same strategy twice. If someone wants to take a short position on a stock, they will figure out how they want to do a short position. As I'm speaking to you right now, it could have been in the last 20 minutes that a short seller has been feeding stock into the market to slowly but gently drop this market down. They may have sold earlier today at 65 and sold a bunch off, and then they sold some at 60 and 58, and now they're feeding in some more. That could be happening. But on the other hand, the buying that's going on right now could be short coverers covering shorts, cashing out their trades and picking up stock in hundreds and 200s and 300s to profit. Melissa, could you check out ATOS, Atossa Therapeutics, just announced success with breast cancer treatment trials and COVID therapy doubled in a week. That one I'd have to do after hours. So I have to do that when I'm not on the air. Andrew, great call on VG, bought 100 at 1480. Yeah, it's like I say, it's 1790. And this is not the end of it. These are early days. That stock I think will do very, 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 very well. Thanks for the info on VGAC. Also did DD and commentary on GameStop. Thank you for donations. Thank you for the kind words. Appreciate it. Right. I bought into. Someone said here. I bought into VGAC. It's 1477, up 21%. Thanks, Bruce. I like this stock. Yep. I say I like the end company, $3.5 billion company that's going to become as soon as that merger is completed with all the paperwork that has to be done. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Liberty. Sam, you never know what the market has in store. I got in myself at 215. I'm down a bit as well. Let's be thankful. We're part of history. Buy a bit of Dodge to recoup some losses. To each his own. Whatever you're going to do and however you're going to do it. There are ways to make money on GameStop. Even with the stock dropping, you make sure you pick more up. If you can acquire 100 shares, ultimately, you can write contracts eventually, and you'll be able to bring premium money in from option traders if you like. But that is another game entirely. You have to decide for yourself, what it is you want to do with the investment and how you want to manage your portfolio or not. And if you have someone managing it for you or not, you have all those options. Of course, you can buy 100 shares of any other company and write options yourselves on those. It's all your call. 55, 48, 55, 68 on the stock now for GameStop. We're coming to the last 13 minutes. And we are where are we at now? As low as 53.82. 53.82 was the low trade. Today we're now 55.62. So we're up almost $2. Earnings alert coming out on CNBC. Or is that a commercial? That's a commercial. So I'm just looking at the commercial. 55.62 down as low as 53.82. Over here on the market itself, the Dow is up 279. S&P up 33, NASDAQ up 129. Good day for the markets today. They're doing rather nicely, and that's making everyone feel better out there. We got a positive vibe for the big markets, but unfortunately today we are down under pressure with the shares that have been touted by the Reddit followers lately. But again, it can turn on a dime any direction, anytime. But I'm not calling for it right now. There's more people licking their wounds than calling for a move up. Virgin Group acquisition is now at 1812, up 465. GameStop 55.60. AMC 706. Bed Bath & Beyond 2708, down 94 cents. And BlackBerry up 15 cents to 12.15. Although it's giving up gains at the end of the day, it's still up a little bit, but giving up gains at this point. GameStop, 55.32 right now, low of 53.82. That's the low of the day. That's where we're at this moment in time. All right, guys. Brent, thank you for your donation. Pandemic and airline stocks equals long-term gains. Be smooth, brain, think good. Me smooth, brain, think good. Pandemic and airline stocks equal long-term gains. Oh, man. I wouldn't want to buy airline stocks. There's a psychological thinking that when we fly again, when we get over this, it'll be great. But then the analytics will come out on the fundamentals of the airlines companies. And it could well be that companies like American Airlines, Delta, United, they have borrowed so much money from the feds to survive. They've been given money to survive, but they've also borrowed, and they've diluted their shareholders dramatically. I don't know if they're going to make anywhere near the kind of money they've ever made before for a long, long time. That is definitely one area I wouldn't go. I will say this, that the more we get back to normal, the better GameStop will do. Because more kids will go out with mom and dad to shopping malls than when we get back to normal. And they haven't shut down all their stores yet. They will eventually shut down a lot of their stores, but the kids will go to GameStop and they have allowance saved up. They're going to want to buy some stuff, and GameStop is a natural for kids to go for. So once we go to recovery, but corporately they're making other moves in the meantime to take advantage of the future, because the future is not brick and mortar for mega growth. Mega growth is not brick and mortar. No way. 54.70 on GameStop. We are about $1 or less away from the low, and volume is approaching 58 million on GameStop right now. And we're into the last 10 minutes of the day here on the markets, and we're watching how it's working out. 1775 on Virgin Group acquisition, so it's backed off a little bit, but it's still at 428. 54.39 GameStop hitting a new low, getting there, might hit it. 54.47. There might be a late dump coming in, or just a bunch of shorters trying to get a lousy print like they've been doing lately, putting out lousy prints on purpose to make the loss look worse than it really was. But a print is a print is a print. It's an old trick in the business that if you're a short seller and you can create a really awful looking last trade, you do it because you are psychologically torturing the longs to throw in the towel the next morning. That's the game you play. 53.82 is the low, 54.15 right now. But in the weeds, lying in the weeds with 9 minutes to go, there could be a number of buyers who are going, you come down here, buddy. You bring this thing down here to about $51. I'll pick you off with great glee. Again, it's psychological on both ends. It's a poker hand. They're holding their cards closely, but right now psychologically, the losers are the longs, and it's killing them. It's killing a lot of people. Oh, it's so darn low. But again, if you have a limit buy order in there at $50.01 or $50.11, maybe you'll get it. Maybe you might at the very end get lucky and get hit if a big seller tries to downprint this thing. I don't know. Bruce, what do you think the best case scenario is with GameStop? Like I said before, they keep coming out with announcements on the corporate side that we've hired these 5 people from Amazon. We've hired these people from QVC. We've hired these people from other companies to take us to the digital e-commerce section. And a smart analyst in Wall Street goes, hey, the shares aren't $300 a share. They're sitting at 53, whatever. I like these moves too. This makes a lot of sense. This Ryan Cohen guy is really making things happen over here. I should cover this story a little bit. And then more and more stories come out from analysts and vloggers and bloggers about how, remember GameStop, and it was here, and it went up to there, and it went down to there. Well, now this is happening behind the scenes. And as that kind of story spreads out, you start getting value investors coming in who go, I'm going to take a shot at this. I'm going to like these 2 hedge fund investors that were buying last September ended up making $700 million because the stock went stupid in a hurry. There are others out there who might think the same thing. At a certain point in time, this stock will be too irresistible not to want to get if you believe in the long-term story. If you don't believe in the long-term story, there's nothing they can say that'll get people to buy the stock. I get that. But I believe with 2.4 billion gamers out there, the day might come that for whatever reason, a percentage of those gamers are going to start picking up this stock as investments themselves through their own platform trading accounts. Because, a gamer might only have $20, $30, but you get millions of gamers buying $20, $30, $50 worth of the stock and just sitting on it long term, because it was once $400. It's now way down here. If I can buy it at 53 and it ever goes back to 400, I make 8 times my money. There's a lot of people thinking that way, going, why wouldn't I buy it down here? It's cheap. How much lower is it going to go? The company is operating. They're converting into an online e-commerce company. Hey, Chewy is a $40 billion market cap, by the way. Chewy, they're not making money. This company at 50 something bucks a share is a $3.5 billion company. It's not even 1/10 the size of Chewy. And the founder of Chewy is on the board of directors of this company, and he's stealing Chewy employees to come on over. Hello? You see what he's thinking? He's thinking Chewy's worth $40 billion. I'm going to turn this into a $40 billion company. Watch me. That's what he's saying, but don't expect it overnight. People did expect it overnight. Thank you, Corey. Where did you find VGAC? How could someone find similar? I heard the story this morning, early before the opening opened up. I heard it on CNBC. I give them kudos. They covered the story. The news came out. It was an official press release from the company itself. And I jumped on right away. Did some research on it. Watched the coverage. Immediately went on and made my notes and came out here first thing in the morning to tell you guys about it, to let you know that there's this merger happening. So I didn't discover the story. I'm not the first guy to cover it, but I'm covering it here on YouTube. And if you're buying it out there, folks, and you bought some this morning, great. If you can get some tomorrow at a better price, or the day after tomorrow at a better price than it was trading at right now, I'm a happy guy. It's 17.28 right now. It was at 18 something. Wasn't it 18 something a little earlier, just a few minutes ago, about 20 minutes ago? 17.16. If you can get it under 15, definitely a buy. Here it's a buy, but I'm thinking it'll be higher than this later. Yes, but of course, you want to get the best buy you can when you can. I think right now there's a little bit of excitement on the stock, but this will peter out as the hours and the days go by, because it'll take 90 days to merge. So in 3 days, 5 days, 8 days, maybe you can get this at 14, 1380, 1350, maybe not, but maybe. There could be hedge funds, though, buying into this slowly but surely as well. There are pros out there, okay? This is not a retail game only, so you have to keep that in mind. All right, 53.90 on GameStop as we're coming in the last 3 minutes of the day. The low trade 53.40. We're 50 cents away. Are there sellers? Are they gonna try to get a lousy print on this close? Are they gonna grind it hard in the last few minutes of the day? We're watching right now to see if GameStop will be messed with anymore. It's down 38.44 on the day right now at 53.97, 53.77. The low is 53.40. So looks to me like the shorters and those who want this stock to look awful are going to hammer this thing right at the bell. They're going to hammer it, but it's just trading at 54. So whoever stepped in took out the 53.99 sellers, and they're now hitting the 54 offer. It's up 60 cents from the low. We're watching it. I'll be here with you right through it, and then we'll see what happens in the aftermarket anyway. 54.35, it's popping up a little more. In the aftermarket, it might go right to 60. We'll see what's going on here. 54.35, almost up $1 from the low of the day. 54.42, definitely up $1 from the low. We're coming to the last minute and a bit of the day, and they're not talking about GameStop today at the close. Not talking about game. That's not the story anymore. 54.25 is the price now, about not quite $1, so it's coming off a bit. A minute or so to go, and we'll see how the stock closes the day. 59 plus million shares. Looks like it'll be a 60 million share day today. 53.86. Here comes the sellers. We'll see if the sellers are hitting these bids and to get a stink print, to get a real ugly print on there. Can you get a $51 print, a $49.98 print? Are they going to slam the stock? I don't know. We're watching. The last minute in the day, 53.94. 54 cents off the low of the day. That wouldn't take much to break that stock price, unless it doesn't look to me like there's a buy wave going to save it today. 53.83, only up 43 from the low. waiting for the final trades to be hammered in as the Dow is into the 45-second mark to go. Soon you'll see the guy standing at the podium. Again, the bell will start to ring. 53.60, only 20 cents off the low of the day. I think we're going to have a new low of the day here. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to hit it at 50. They'll try to nail it all the way down to 50 on the bell. Could be wrong, but we'll see. Last 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 53.46, 6 cents from the low. We're watching. I got it on my phone right here, 53.46, and we're watching these. 53.33, new low right at the bell. The guy standing on the podium right there. It closed at 53.33, the low trade of the day. They nailed it at the end of the day, and the aftermarket is now open. It's 53.77. It's up 40 cents. That's one of the tricks you use as a psychological terrorist. You find ways to really grind the longs and just hit them at the end, especially if you're a shorter. You want it to look just terrible, and you come in there at the end with a market sell order right at the very end and just grind it. That's what they did. It's 53.57 right now in the aftermarket. Welcome to the day. Volume 59 million. Let's take a look at official volume. The Virgin Group ended at 1756, up 409. Right now trading at 1741 in the aftermarket. It traded 47.9 million on the day. GameStop 53.33, low trade of the day on volume of 59,750,000 is what I'm showing here on this device, and that's subject to final adjustments as that goes through. So there you have it. Welcome to the meat grinder. For those of you in the GameStop stock right now, as I explained to you how it's going, it's a psychological war. It's a money war. And there's just not a buy interest late tonight coming in to the stock. My hunch is if there are any bargain hunters, people who want to average down, they're going to buy it tomorrow after they see the pre-opening. They're going to see how that works tonight on the pre-close, aftermarket trading, pre-market tomorrow. If the company makes an announcement tomorrow morning, they might, for whatever operational things are going on. Then we'll see how the psychological opening happens for this stock and for AMC, of course, and for Bed Bath & Beyond and BlackBerry. Speaking of AMC, it also got hammered at the very end, just like GameStop did. It's probably the same shorters hitting both. Bed Bath & Beyond down $1 at 27.01. That's not the low of the day. And then BlackBerry up 16 cents to 12.16. It was immune from the shenanigans of Bed Bath & Beyond, AMC, and GameStop. There you go. I am Slim. So is GameStop dead for the short term? I'm still diamonds. Again, I don't expect it to go to $150 in the next 2 days. The options expire tomorrow, by the way. All the options expire tomorrow. There are options in the money because it is at a $50-odd value. But there used to be options in the money at $80, $90, and $100 a share. They're not in the money anymore. They're out of the money, so they're going to expire worthless unless the stock has a rally. We'll find out tomorrow. The company isn't dead, but the stock, the hype of the stock is definitely quiet. You probably are not going to hear much from CNBC anymore unless there's a dramatic move of some kind. But again, the regulators are involved in a way, politicians have gotten involved in a way with this story because Congress wants to look at what happened. And of course, there's a lot of upset investors at Robinhood and other brokerage firms limiting the ability of investors to buy the stock when the shares were getting hammered up there earlier, this week and last week. That could have hastened the fall of the stock, and people are upset for obvious reasons. That has yet to be investigated. We'll stay on that. Ryan, thank you for the 99-cent donation. Bruce, got a price target for VGAC? Not really. No, I don't actually have a target yet. I'm waiting to find out the official financials when it's all said and done. I know the big numbers: $3.5 billion merged company, 900 plus million cash. I think it's 952. So, a third one, two, three, eight, well, about 26% of the company, 27% of the company is cash. That's a good thing. So if the shares trade at $20 a share, $5, $6 is cash value. The rest is enterprise value. 600 plus employees at 23andMe. That company is on the move, and I think with this kind of cash on hand, almost $1 billion in cash, as a newly traded, publicly traded company, they are going to make a lot of corporate moves, and I'm sure that they are already scheming right now, sitting around their board table, going, okay, well we've got this money that's going to be in our hands on March the 15th or April the 3rd or whatever that date is. We'll find that out soon. Expected in the second quarter. So when that money is in our hands, we will make acquisitions and we will make, additions. We will diversify our offerings. They've got a battle plan, and I'm sure they're going to evolve it now. They're going to sharpen their tools to get ready to come out swinging when they hit the market. They're going to be a public company, and they're going to start coming up with a slew of announcements about this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. It's exactly what I want GameStop to do. I want them to come out with a slew of announcements, tell the world what you have in mind. What are you going to do? What are you up to? By the way, in the aftermarket, it's down again. It's 52.50. So the short selling can be done on the aftermarket, and there might be some short sellers making it look even worse. They want to get it under 50, the psychological number of 50. They want to break it to make all people feel awful that own it. But a stock can pop $15 from 49 to 64 like that, which makes people feel good. So keep that in mind. But anyway, welcome to the market. I digress. Thank you. $332 point gain for the Dow today. 41 point gain for the S&P 500 today. NASDAQ gained 167 points today. So that was very good. All 1 percentage points or better improvements in their markets. That is record territory, I think, for NASDAQ, if I'm not mistaken. I know S&P is getting into record territory again. The Dow still has about 600 or 700 points to go before it reaches its all-time high. Let me take a look for the Dow. Dow is right now 31,055, and the high is 31,272. So the Dow is only 220 points away from a new all-time high. And wouldn't you know it, a Democrat is in the White House. The market might have an all-time high with a Democratic president. That almost always happens. How about that? Sometimes it doesn't matter who's in the White House. The markets want to go up. They're going to go up. It doesn't matter who's in there because business is business, nothing personal. We don't care your politics. We want to make money. And that's what they're doing. All right, there you go, folks. That's the information there. We'll see how all of these events play themselves out going forward. As I say, the market right now for GameStop in the aftermarket, 52.50, down 86 cents from the close. Virgin Group acquisitions, 17.91. It's up a little more, up 35 more cents. It traded 47.9 million shares today, and it's going to be interesting to see how all of this comes together once they merge it all out with 23andMe. Thank you, KK, for a donation. Bruce, do you think the stock market is quite frothy right now? Yeah, I would say the big market as a whole, it's trading at very high multiples. There are a number of shares out there trading at very high PE multiples. The biggest offender would have to be Tesla. They're the biggest offender. They're at 1,328 times earnings with an $849 price. $850 a share. That's a very high price. But people look at Tesla and go, yeah, we know it's trading high, but we know that a year from now they're going to be making more money than last year, and a year after that we think they're making more money than the year after that. So we're prepared to pay a premium because of the growth of the companies and all the potential of the new factories coming on stream in Austin, Berlin, the one they opened in China, and so on. Patrick, could other hedge funds come in, buy, and push the stock back up when it gets low enough? This could theoretically take out the competition. Yeah, theoretically, look, at any time, any buyer could come into GameStop, whether it's an insider of the company and buy more shares for themselves, whether it's a hedge fund, whether it's a pension fund, whether it's Microsoft, whether it's a Best Buy competitor. It could be anybody. I mean, the shares get low enough the company could be purchased by somebody else. It could be somebody could make a takeover offer for these guys. But you talk to any analyst that covers it, they'll say there's no dang way anyone's going to make a takeover offer on these guys. Not a chance. These guys are not a takeover target as far as their mind is concerned. My thinking is that as the company moves forward with their evolution, as they evolve, there will be higher prices for the stock, and if the shares don't react with the positive moves they're making as they become an e-commerce company, then an e-commerce company might come and offer them a deal they can't refuse. Could be a stock cash deal. Who knows? If someone came to GameStop and said, look, we're trading at 500 a share, you're trading at 80. How about 2 shares of GameStop for one of ours? That's $250 in paper. Would you take that deal? Well, they might. The insiders will be looking at it going, Ryan Cohen will go, let me get this straight. I'm going to have 4.5 million of your $500 stocks. That's what I'm having now. They might go with that. They didn't really have an exit plan when the stock ran up in 3 days to these levels and held on and then came back down. Mr. T, Brucey boy, I've noticed this GameStop trade's been a lot like making love. Reselling now, I should have pulled out way sooner. Anyway, still holding. That's a good comment. I find that entertaining. Ryan, you missed my last Fortnite question. Can you please explain how after-hours trading works and why Robinhood doesn't allow users to do it? Okay, all right. Certain firms and many firms do not allow after-hours trading. There's only a handful. I think the reasoning is, in the case of Robinhood, they have to clear their trades excuse me, through market makers at other firms, because they are not necessarily doing the trades themselves on the floor of an exchange. They're using other firms, and they're making their money on a sliver of upside between spread and ask. The aftermarket hours, the after-hour trading and the pre-market trading is done on other trading platforms. This is not being done on the New York Stock Exchange. None of these trades you see happening in the aftermarkets are happening on the New York Stock Exchange. They're happening on computer servers, like NASDAQ is a computerized market. These are computerized markets. And Redbubble isn't part of that system. It might be way too expensive for them to be involved in it, and they can't make any money. So if they allow you to trade that, they'll lose on every trade, and they're not in the business of losing money if they can avoid it. That's probably the answer. 53.50 on the aftermarket right now. I'm showing for GameStop. I'm just going to double check here. No, it's not. It's 51.99. I apologize. My big ass iPad is stuck on another trade. Sorry, I'm just going to reload it over here. Wake it up. Yeah, 51.99. So that's probably why you can't buy on Red Robin. You probably can't buy on Charles Schwab either. You probably can't use Fidelity. There are only a handful of firms that will allow it, and you'll have to do your own research to find out who those guys are. I don't know what the limits are. I don't know what the minimums are. I don't know what the fees are. I can't answer that question either. Aldolfo, thank you for this donation. Hi, Bruce. Hedge funds have to report, I believe, interest rates on the 9th of February. No, they have to report their long and short positions, long stock positions, and call options and put options, but not short stock positions on the 9th. I believe the market, the New York Stock Exchange, the SEC, they will release the official short positions of all stocks as of January 31st, or in reality, January 29th. That was Friday. That will come out, I think, on the 9th. How does this relate to stock price? If it goes up or down, can they fake the numbers? No, they cannot fake the numbers. That would be breaking securities law. Now you can't trade, and now you go to jail. That wouldn't happen. There is not going to be any faking of numbers by the stock exchange or anything like that. It'll be the legitimate number of short interest that was out there. There are short reports issued twice a month, on the 15th and the end of the month. And they come out about a week after each date. So by the 9th of Feb, so in the next, 5 days, we will probably know, you should know by then, the actual short interest level of GameStop and everybody else as of the end of January, which this year for trading purposes was the 29th of January, because the next trading day was the 1st of February. All right. I hope that answers your question, Adolfo. But no faking, no lying, no. Lance, I'm 100% watching your stock show every day. It's on after that heroic big brain VGAC call. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for being here. I'm going to bring out more calls. I will come out with more ideas for you, stories that I like, companies I like, why I like them. I'll try to explain it in a plain English format. This is not a race. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not trying to beat out other YouTube channels to come up with better stock ideas for you. I'm not a trader. I don't have a portfolio. I'm just seeing what I'm seeing. And with my experience over the years, I'm just going to give you my perspective on what I see going on, and I'll let you know if I like it or not. I know some of you are asking me, can you check this out? Can you check that out? Can you check that out? I don't want to do that. I'm not a hired gun for that kind of work. I have, on very infrequent occasions, I have been available for one-on-one private telephone consultations, but I charge $400 US an hour. So if you're interested in talking to me one-on-one privately, it's a minimum 1 hour fee. It's 400 American dollars per hour. And I wouldn't recommend you hire me unless you've got a lot of money that you're watching over. And again, I won't give you specific advice on you should buy this and you should buy that. I can only give you generalistic information because I'm not an advisor. I'm not a licensed advisor. I don't promote myself as a licensed advisor. I'm just a guy in a living room following the markets, telling you what I see, explaining to you what it is I see in a plain English format. And if I can do it in such a way that entertains you in a way and you enjoy it, then I'm a really happy guy. I'll have done what I'm supposed to be doing. Jackson, I'm new to this. What is projected to happen to the stock? Will it keep going down until it's where it was, or will there be a boom? Thank you. Well, it's 52.26 right now. And there are not enough buyers to stop it from coming down in price. The selling today, I think, has been other retailer sellers who claim to be diamond-handed holders who turned into mush, and they're selling out because they're getting hammered. People bought at 80, 100, 200, and they just can't take it. They're psychologically getting, beat up by their friends, their relatives, associates at work. There's a lot of people out there who were bragging about how well they were doing on their investment to all who would listen. And now those folks are going, oh, how you doing on that stock you bought at $220 a share? I know it went to 400. How you doing now? Well, they know exactly how they're doing. And they want to torture the bejesus out of them because it was the other way around. When it was 200, but they got in at 200, went to 300, they were bragging about how rich they were. This is typical. This is absolute normal behavior. What do you expect? And so right now the stock is under pressure, but it won't last forever if it drops too far too fast. Question is, what is too far too fast? We haven't got the answer yet. We're at 52.43, still dropping. So can only drop another $52.43. That's all it can go. Can't drop 100 from here. I don't think it's going to do that. Lance, I'm 100% watching your stock show every day. It's on after that heroic big brain call. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Any more calls? Any more comments that I'm missing? I didn't want to miss any. Here we go. Bought and sold an option for VGAC. Made 110%. You rock. You can buy options on VGAC. I don't recommend it, but those of you who have got the chutzpah, you want to play that game, more power to you. I'm glad you're making money, and I thank you for your donation. Keep them coming. Fantastic. I want you to make money. Lots of money, people. I want you folks out there to be rich, rich, rich. That would be terrific for me. Thank you, everybody, for that. 52.58 on GameStop. And let's take a look here. It's down 88 cents roughly from the low at 52.62, according to my phone. Virgin Group acquisition, 17.14 is the last trade. It's down 51 cents in the aftermarket. from 1765. And as I say, I really like it. I really like this under 15. I do really like it. I like it at 15 to 16. I like it at 17, but I really would be saying to anyone who wants to get into this, under 15 would be the price you want to really pay. If you can get it that cheap, keep your eye on it, and you never know, okay? Bruce, if it goes to 1,000, I demand you wear a toupee and not act like anything's different. I'll pull a George Costanza and put on a toque and act like I'm William Shatner, and then have Elaine come and rip it off my head. Oh, that's funny. I love that. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh gosh, thank you guys. Oh my gosh. A and Cookies. Why do you not trade? Invest with your own knowledge. I got to be honest with you. I'm always trying to be honest with you. I've told you before. Jen and I, we get by. We get by. And I've been living off of my YouTube channel, Traveling with Bruce. This one right here. I started this channel 3.5 years ago, and I got it going a year later to the point where we were making a living off of it. And that took the heat off of having to do anything else. And the channel was growing rather nicely in 2018 and 19, to the point where this past, we decided over a year ago, we were going to do a group cruise on this with these viewers, a bunch of my viewers on this channel. We're going to do a group cruise out of Fort Lauderdale on the Harmony of the Seas. We were going to be on a cruise ship in December for a week in the Caribbean. And we had a second group cruise all lined up for February right here. And both got canceled, of course. And the channel's numbers, the viewing numbers, topped out a year ago. Last year, January, Traveling with Bruce was doing the most views it had ever had. It was doing 1 million views a month on the channel. I was making a living. And the hope was that we would go to 2 million views a month, and that I would make more than just a living. We'd make money plus extra money. And with group cruises, we would make extra money with all kinds of views on the ships and stuff. But it all fell apart last year in February, March, when the pandemic showed up. And unfortunately, by May, June, the views of this channel started to slump badly, because when you're telling people you're not going on a cruise for 6 months, they don't like to watch you anymore. Our group cruise is canceled. They don't want to hear that. So, I had to be the bearer of bad news. And so I just didn't have the money. We just didn't have the cash to invest. We have money to survive, get by, but we're not wealthy enough to invest in other areas. So I created this channel out of necessity last summer, as the other channel was slumping down, and I had less and less to talk about as well. I had very little stuff to talk about with regard to traveling, because the virus. So I created Stock Markets with Bruce. I thought, well, why don't you pull out the old stories? And then I thought, you know what you could do on the stock market channel? You could talk to people, make videos, and just explain how stuff works. Because you watch these television stations, these CNBCs, they don't tell you the really basic stuff. And I know there are millions of you out there, especially you Robinhood traders, Fidelity, Schwab, Webull, all you folks that are brand new to the market using $50, $100, $500, $1,000. You have no one to talk to. No stockbroker will take your call. You haven't got enough money for them to want to talk to you for a second. And I thought, there's a market out there. There's a viewership out there, underserviced, because I'm looking on YouTube at the other channels that cover the markets, and there are tons of them, tons of stock market guys. And some of them are very, very professional, but I can't understand them, or I'm bored to tears in 3 minutes. I will watch paint dry rather than listen to these guys. And I thought, why don't you do a channel and engage with people and put up some vids? And that's what I did. And I was looking for stories to talk about. I came across GameStop. I came across Tesla, covered Apple a bit, covered other scenarios, and then this happened. All of this began, a little while ago, and I came up with more videos on GameStop, and then I started going live, and here we are. GameStop launched this channel big time because I'd started my channel with maybe 400 subscribers in the first few weeks, because a lot of my folks over here, not a lot, but 400 of my people from here came on over and subscribed over there too. And so I needed to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I needed to get to 4,000 hours of watch time to make this channel monetized. That happened 2 months ago, 2 and a bit months ago. Finally got monetized, broke 1,000 subs. And, and then I started doing the GameStop updates as GameStop became active. And that took me to 1,100 subs, 1,200 subs, 1,300 subs, 1,400 subs, 1,500 subs. And then I went public. I went live with all of you, and the channel exploded. But you wanted to hear about GameStop. I was able to explain it and what's going on elsewhere. And here we are with 48,000 subscribers now on the count now. Let me see. 47,997, 48,258, 48,258 subscribers. We just blew through 48,000, just destroyed 48,000. Absolutely awesome sauce. Loving it. Thank you, everybody. And we're getting a ton of views. This show right here, the sad part about this telecast right now, I only have 988 thumbs ups for this second half of my show. I have 2,800 of you watching. I know I've had 12,000 of you come and go. Only 996 thumbs ups. It would be nice if I could get a hit there to keep the channel promotion going. Every time I get a thumbs ups from any of you guys, it adds momentum to the analytics of the show, the channel itself, and then people start watching all the videos I've ever made on this channel. They hear me live here, and they go, he has a second channel. They go to that channel, they start subscribing to that channel, and I grow and I grow and I grow. And with me begging you for thumbs ups, which I hate to do it, but I've got to do it, with just now in the last 2 minutes begging you for thumbs ups, 1,400 thumbs ups now. You guys are incredible. Thank you. Some of you just react instantly, and I love you for it. It's the same thing on the other channel. The followers on TWB are diehards. They love the engagement that I provide. I go live with sponsor members on Mondays. I go live at 8 o'clock on Monday nights for all subscribers to watch that channel. And then on Fridays, I go live for sponsor members as well. 1,500 thumbs ups and counting right now on this show. So thank you, everybody. So I love doing it. It's just a lot of fun, but I just don't have the capital to invest. And now I have to admit that in the last 2 weeks, with donations that you've made, the views that I've received, this channel has generated 1.2 million views in 2 weeks. Yeah, there's commercial money coming in from YouTube. There's donations coming in through YouTube and through PayPal. And of course, I offered those postcards. Donations came in for that. So I'm looking at Jen going, okay, well, we've had a kind of quiet 3 months. This quiet October, November, and December were very slow. All of a sudden, from left field, this is going on. So that's making up for the lousy September, October, November, December, and it looked like it was going to be an awful January. And now we have a little bit of a cushion here to, we can breathe easy now for February. We can breathe easy for March and April. Our property taxes came due here. We'll pay that on time this year. Yahoo! So, thank you guys. We're not wealthy here. We're just two, 65-year-olds that, are loving life and wishing there wasn't a pandemic. And we're just trying to get, through the scenario we're all in right now. And what can I say? One day at a time, 1 week at a time, one subscriber at a time, one viewer at a time, one donation at a time. We're growing. And I thank all of you for doing what you do. You're just wonderful to me. I love it. It's free to hit the like button to spread the word for Bruce. He drops those gems. If you're happy with the Virgin group story, give me a thumbs up. Thank you. We're now at 1,600 thumbs up. So I added 600 thumbs ups by asking for them. And I thank you all so much for that. You guys are tremendous. Anyway, there you go. It's a labor of love for me. I love being a YouTuber. It's hard work being on camera, talking nonstop and engaging, but I enjoy it very much. 99.9% of you guys are fantastic people. I love it. I can't wait to meet you in person someday when I can start doing, meet and greets. I can't wait for that. Admiral Bruce, I know you can't give specific advice, but what would you recommend for a decent 10-15% return? Well, I recommend you pick up that stock I talked about today. Pick up that Virgin Group stock, see if it'll back off under 15 and scoop some up, and I think you'll do just fine. JK, love the info, Bruce. Keep it up. Love the donations. Keep it up. Thank you, all of you guys. Some of you guys are making donations that are just mind-blowing. My daughter goes, you got to be kidding me. What? How much did you get? Friends of mine, they watch, and they see the donations you're making. They cannot believe it. They go, we know you're a nice guy, and we like hanging out with you, but geez. But I say, hey, I got fantastic viewers out there, fans of the channel, and we will be together for, I hope, a long time. And I will keep bringing you the best info I can as to what's happening out there on a daily kind of basis or special situation kind of scenario. I will do everything I can to keep you posted. GameStop, 52.25 is where it's at now. So it's down $1.25 since the close of the day, just so you know. Sid bought some VGAC today. Keep up the amazing work. Just a quick question. Will I keep the same amount of shares after the merger? Yes, you will. You'll have just as many, and the name will change and the symbol will change, but we keep on going. Yep, it'll just keep right on going. Yep, betcha. You don't have to do a thing. It'll all be done automatically by the broker. Not a problem. Cookies, when I moved back to Spokane, I had to head to Banff. I'll stop by Creston. Thank you for everything. I made zero, but more into trading and investing. That's right. If you want to go to Banff from Spokane, you can cross the border around here, and you can certainly cross it just south of our town in Creston. We'll meet you at Timmy's. I'll meet you at Timmy's for a coffee and a donut. Easily done. Absolutely piece of cake. Thank you guys for these donations, and thank you for these kind words of yours, support. I do appreciate it very much. Thank you for giving my shows thumbs ups. All my videos, hit the thumbs ups button every time, please. That really helps. These PayPal donations that come in, I get these donations 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I never know when a PayPal donation comes in. I thank any and all of you who are doing that. I see one that just came through a few minutes ago. Thank you also. Thank you to John Campbell for your donation, John. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. From New Jersey. Right on, man. Thank you. Appreciate the donation. Fantastic. Michael Curran, thank you for your donation today. AMC and GME were my first venture into trading, and you helped me transition into long haul thinking. I'm confident going forward. I was able to diversify to recover from some of the losses today. Thank you for what you do. So, if you're losing some money on GameStop, but you made some money on the other one that I recommended, I'm a happy guy. I'll keep coming up with the odd story here and there. Throw an idea at you, and let you know what I think about them. 1,800 thumbs up. Thank you, everybody. That is awesome. 53.48 now in the is that the aftermarket? I'm not sure for GameStop. 52.45. Yep, that's the aftermarket. And we'll keep coming up with comments and new stock ideas. Eon, thank you, Eon. Thank you for being one of the few people wanting to help the little guy and explaining things simply so even a newbie can understand. Any great resources you recommend for just getting started in stocks? Well, if you go to marketwatch.com, that's a free website you can go to, and you can see their headlines. You can see what they're talking about. You certainly want to watch CNBC if you can, just to see what they're saying during market hours. After hours, you're not going to get much market info. But you'll get Jim Cramer and so on. But after a few hours, it's just whatever programming. Looking at Wall Street Journal online, just reading the headlines, reading up on the business section of your local paper or of business section in CNN or in MSNBC. I mean, online there's Google searching you can do. If you have a particular company you like, you want to know what's going on, just do a Google search of that company and put in stock news or anything like that. Corporate news. You'll get all kinds of stories from all kinds of sources. Some you'll be able to read, some you won't. But that's a way to gather info if you've got the time. The trick, of course, is not only having the time, but to being able to disseminate what the heck they're telling you. And that's where I can come in handy, I hope, to help you disseminate what's going on. Can you explain how options contracts work specifically with VGAC? Also, thoughts on Hargrave's Lansdowne platform. I don't have any opinion on the platform. Options work the same for all stocks. You can buy call contracts, put contracts, but only during market hours. They trade on the Chicago Board of Trade, the CME. There are market makers that make options, make markets for these contracts. And you can go long by buying calls. You can go short by buying puts. If you own shares, you can write a call or write a put, depending on how many you have. Every 100 shares you have, you can write one contract. And then you can be a premium collector rather than a premium payer and play the other side of the market. So if you own 100 shares, and you're happy being a long-term investor, you might put them up for sale or potentially up for sale by writing a call contract, taking cash premium right now and waiting for the contract to expire, whichever Friday it will expire on. That you'll determine when you create it. And you might win on the non-exercise of the stock. You might win by being bought out, but you got bought out at the price you were willing to sell at, plus the premium you received. Then you can always buy the stock back and rewrite contracts all over again. There's all kinds of ways to play these contracts. The Adrian Hanna, should I buy into VG tonight during after hours or wait? I'd wait. Just wait. Give the market a couple of days. There's this initial euphoria that we have right now, and let's just see if this lasts much longer. By tomorrow afternoon, might be back to 15 a share. By Monday, Tuesday, after the weekend, into next week, it might be back to 14, 15, 16 bucks. It's not a race right now. This is going to take a good 3 months to close. It's been announced. It will happen, but it theoretically and physically will take 90 odd days or so to do it. And so it's going to trade under this name for a while yet. And after the initial hype eases up a little bit, volumes might cool a little bit, and the shares might dip a bit, and you can get them at a lower price than where they're at now. But it's been a good day today on the stock, but I'm not claiming they're going to go to 50 bucks tomorrow. That I don't see happening. So yeah, keep an eye on it and see if the shares come your direction at a price you're prepared to pay. Way to go. Joe and Billy, hey, is GameStop a buy now? No money at all yet. It's getting better all the time. It's at 53 now. $53 a share. Wait till tomorrow morning and see the opening. If they have a low opening and they open in the low 40s, now it's starting to get attractive again because there are some key technical levels there of support that might kick in with some buy programs. We'll have to see what's going on. Alex, thank you for being here. Alex, thank you for this donation. Hey, Bruce, thanks for being here to help us out. Would you suggest a potential growth stock over a high dividend yield stock? Well, that depends on your objective. If you're an elderly guy like me, you might be investing in high income entities to draw income in because the older you get, the less time you have to score a capital gain. You might want to have your money work for you. If you're a younger investor and you're playing with a couple of $100, you're probably going to be in the options market to just roll the dice, no matter what I say. If you're in that 30-40 range, you might have a little diversification as you're building up a portfolio. If you got 20, 30, 40 grand that you're trying to grow for retirement, you might have 10,000 in high growth, 10,000 in dividend, 10,000 in an ETF over here. That might be technology. You might have 10,000 split up a couple of stocks over here. Be diversified, what you like, what you think is going to do well, or what your advisor and you are figuring out. And you've got a nice mix portfolio. So if the market has a bad day, you don't have a bad day. You might have a dip, but not as bad as others. And you're certainly not gambling with one trade to make or break your life. Avoid that once you get older, especially if you've got kids. What can I say? And yes, this will change to 23andMe automatically. Same price per share, one share for one share. You're just going to notice a name change. And now you're going to use a new stock symbol, ME. That'll be the new stock symbol. That was announced already today. All going to happen, all going to be done by the SEC people. All the folks at the exchanges are on board. JA, thank you for the donation, buddy. Thank you. All on board, all ready to go. All will happen and will be seamless. For those of you who are shareholders, seamless investment. You won't even have to think about it. It's just a question of the exact day. They will announce it when they know. When they know exactly the day, then they'll let you know as a shareholder and the market that the transition will take place on blah blah blah. Whatever. And the day before, the stock will trade as Virgin Acquisition. The next day, they'll start trading as 23andMe, and it's a done deal. There you go. But it is the merger is going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. 52.29 on GameStop in the aftermarket, down $1.16 in the aftermarket. Not a big drop. Just that little Chinese water torture thing is what we're witnessing right now, driving people up the wall as they can't stand it. That's the way it goes. But we'll see how it runs tomorrow. Another day tomorrow, but it's Friday. Option expiration day. We'll see if it has any effect on anything. And then we start Monday all over again with another week. And I'll be here, as I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'll be here Monday. That guy willing. We'll see what's going on. Victor, what was a stock you were wrong about in the past? Oh, too many to mention. I'm not going there. I don't want to relive nightmares. Thanks, Victor. Thanks for bringing that up. I don't want to go down that road. Oh my gosh, no. Let's see. Anything coming up here on announcement? I'm going to take a look at Market Watch, see if they're saying anything. S&P, the NASDAQ, they close at record highs for the indices as job data from the U.S. on coronavirus cases and earnings improve. I heard today is the 23rd consecutive day that hospitalization numbers are down. Fewer people in the hospitals for 23 days in a row nationally. That is good news. Let's keep that happening. Let's just hope that goes all the way down. Peloton tops $1 billion in quarterly revenue for the first time, but higher shipping costs weigh on the outlook. Interesting. Pinterest adds 100 million users in 2020. Fourth quarter revenue growth is 76%. Online company. Ford reports loss. Ford reports quarterly loss over $2 billion, but they're upping their investment in electric vehicles. They're shifting. They're going for that direction. Snap shares drop 8% despite big jump in revenue. So something in the future doesn't look good. Let's see here. Other comments, anything else that we need to follow? News of the day as we go here. The SEC could cripple Robinhood's business model by enforcing existing rules. Experts say, we'll see. They want to go public in the new year. They want to go public in a couple of months, like in the next 5-6 months. They've really lost street cred in the last couple of weeks, haven't they? Have they lost street cred or what? Unbelievable. Anyway, there you go. Let's see. Any more comments that I want to let you in on? I don't see anything else crazy there. Let me go over here. Double check here. By the way, the channel now, Stock Markets the Bruce, 48,385 subscribers. Thank you, everyone, for that. Absolutely beautiful. And thank you to Daniel Gillespie. Thank you for your donation on PayPal. That just came through. a little while ago. Thank you. The Alaska cruise season is canceled for 2021. You got that right. Canada has closed their ports for an entire year. So I'll be making a video after I get off of here with my viewers over at Traveling with Bruce to let them in on that. 1,900 thumbs ups today on this second show today. Thank you guys so much for these thumbs ups. I really appreciate it. If we can get over 2,000, that would be great. Absolutely wonderful of you to be with me today and follow me as we close out the second show of the day today. I'll be on tomorrow in the morning. Usually I get on about an hour before the opening. It all depends on just how much is going on, how long I slept. And we'll see what's happening. So keep an eye open for my morning show tomorrow. We'll start first thing in the morning. I'll fill you in on what's going on with the markets and what happened overnight and what's going on there. I will do that with you all. I look forward to for the opening with you again tomorrow, as I always do. And we'll see what what happens with GameStop's overnight trading pre-market tomorrow. What's happening with Virgin Group? What those shares are doing? Are they higher tomorrow morning? Are they lower? We'll let you in on all of that. Right now, the Virgin acquisition group, VG acquisition, 1775, up a dime in the aftermarket. Very calm right now. GameStop 52.36, down 80 cents a share. 52.70, down 80 cents a share only. Certainly not getting hammered on the aftermarket. Nothing like that. Volume 800,000. Quiet. Very. That's quiet compared to normal lately. So that's pretty cool. That's where we're at. There you have it, guys. That's what's going on. I think we're just about there. I'm going to buy. Dark Camper going to buy some more tomorrow to average the price down. Regenerative is saying, Bruce, stock markets with Bruce just got a notice from Robinhood that they reduced limits on buying GMC and AME. Interesting. Gene saying, Bruce Almighty. Dilly, Papa Musk going to invest. Nighty night, Bruce. Thank you. Someone is asking me if I can recommend any stockbrokers. I can't. I in the UK, I certainly cannot. You're going to have to look. I would recommend you do a Google search for online brokerage companies or whatever kind of service you want, and then find out the services they offer and make up your mind from there. You're going to have to do some due diligence on your part. I can't help you. I am sorry. It's just not. I don't know the business over there, and I don't know who they are. Short reports on the 8th. We will see what happens here. Lauren, my boyfriend bankrupt us on GameStop. Now I have to get 2 jobs. Build up a little capital and hit it again. But follow me and I'll try to give you the odd suggestion. Maybe I can help you. I don't know. We'll see. We'll follow what's going on out there. One day at a time. Kirill, hey, thanks a lot for a great education on the market and nice stories. Cheers from Europe. Thank you for the £5 donation. All day, people have been making donations to me, even though the markets are quieter. I appreciate this very much. These $5 and $10 donations are the backbone of my existence, and those of you making these are fantastic. I cannot thank you enough. These PayPal donations as well, beautiful. I get about 96% of whatever comes through PayPal. And I can go to the bank the next morning and take out money if I want it. It's just, you guys are great. I appreciate those. These donations on YouTube, they get added into my ad revenue. And then at the end of the month ends. And then there's any adjustments to ad revenues, but these are locked in. And then on the 21st of the next month, I get paid for the last month's activity. So these donations you're making right now, these super chats, I will get paid for this £5 donation on the 21st of March. That's when I'll be paid. I have to wait until then. But on the 21st of February, I'm getting the donations you folks made last week up until Sunday night at midnight. And that's how it goes. It's a monthly payout from YouTube. It's a daily payout from PayPal. and I'm happy getting donations any way they come in. They're good with me because I'm here for the long haul, and I just keep rolling along, and I thank you. All right, I'm going to say my good nights right now. Kind of tired, and I want to get back to following what's going on. I have to make a video for Traveling with Bruce as well. So if you got time, head over to the Traveling with Bruce later tonight. You'll see a video that I'm going to make now about the closing of the Canadian ports and any other news that came out today. Thank you all for following me. I will be live tomorrow morning with you here, and then tomorrow afternoon I'll be live again, just like today. Then I'll be live tomorrow night on Traveling with Bruce with my sponsor members. If you'd like to become a sponsor member of that channel, head over there, hit the join button. In the meantime, stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy. Remember to wear your mask. Do what the health officials tell you. Get your shot if you can. And don't get sick on me, because I need all the healthy investors I can get my hands on. I need you as viewers, not hospital patients. I want you as viewers. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here and making these donations. Thanks for the thumbs ups, everybody. We've had now, how many thumbs ups now? We're at 1,900 thumbs ups as I get off the air here. And if you're watching in the rerun tonight, please, if you're watching the show, hit the thumbs up button. I could sure use it. We'll keep you posted on what's going on out there overnight tonight and in pre-opening tomorrow. $51.85 on GameStop, down $1.65 in the aftermarket. For the Virgin Group, $18.16, up 51 cents in the aftermarket. That one is showing a little more strength. The story is a good story. I like it. We'll stay on all of these stories for you. Keep you posted on what's going on. Take it easy, everybody. Thank you, and good evening from beautiful Creston, British Columbia. We'll talk to you real soon. Good night, all, and thank you for being here.